everyone. Thank you for having me here, Michael.
Of course.
It's a pleasure to see some familiar faces again, some new people. I hope I can give you some value today on this presentation. If you don't know me, my name is Carolina Luna. I am a personal branding photographer here on Long Island, New York, and I specialize in personal branding photography. I also do some consulting for personal brands to make our website experience more influential, to convert more, and to create more impact with what you do online. So today, my goal over here is going to be to give you some tips about personal branding and why I think it's so important to have one these days. If you are an entrepreneur, if you're in the coaching industry, if you have a small business, or especially if you are the face of your business. Um, I am a photographer now for about 20 years. I have been I started off as a portrait photographer, and then I got into the wedding industry. I have a marketing degree. I went to school for advertising and marketing. And about 2.5, 3 years ago, when I was rebranding myself, I came across the personal branding industry and personal branding photography. And I fell in love because one of the cool things about it was that I could actually do everything that I love into one branch, which is the personal branding photography. So I could, add the marketing piece, the photography, and also the transformational piece of the personal branding. Because if you think about it, personal branding is really a deep discovery process because it incorporates all that makes you very unique and special into a masterpiece, which is your legacy work. It's what you do for a living. I hope that you are as lucky as I am to be working with things that you love to do, using your skills, combining your skills, your talents, and your passions, and, making a living out of what you love. So treat your brand like an entity that represents your highest expression and not self-actualize your brand. Now, why we're going to talk about personal brand today is because you, as the face of your business, you are your brand. Your brand is how people perceive you. And you know this guy over here, right? Jeff Bezos. He has this famous quote that your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. Basically, it's all that impression that people have about you in general, about you as an individual, the way you show up in the world, the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you present yourself online, the way you run your business, even your quirks, everything that make you that unique individual that you are consists on your personal brand. So why it is important to have one? So again, you're going to give a face to your brand name, especially if you're using the name of your business is your name, first name, last name, part of your name. But that it's going to, make that connection. We love to connect with others. And when we finally meet online on a Zoom or something, we finally click, oh, that's you with your name. So it's the same thing with your personal brand. It makes you relatable and human also. Now, we're exposed to so many brands in the daily basis, from the time that we get up in the morning from to the time that we go to bed. Whatever we wear, whatever we eat, our computer, everything from our pencil to our toothpaste, everything is a brand. And when we're driving around, we're exposed to all these brands and we don't even, actually pay attention to it, but we're being exposed subliminally. And what we're doing here with a personal brand, we're moving away from being a general brand that's consumable by all human beings, and we're humanizing that. We're bringing the human factor and making it more relatable. Okay, so you as a person, You don't want to make business anymore. Most people, actually, I can't speak for yourself, but a lot of people are moving more into that space where they wanted to know who they're making business with. Um, a personal brand also will help you to differentiate your brand uniquely from other brands. For example, if you are in the coaching industry, or you have a digital agency, okay, and you're the driver of your company. When people are going to look for a company to do business with, they're going to do some research online. They're going to look for maybe different prices or similar services. There's so many people in the online space right now doing business and doing very similar work. So the easiest and the quickest way that you can differentiate yourself out there is by showing your personality, your uniqueness that comes through your how you do things again. Will help people make a decision if they want to interact with your brand or not, and then eventually do business with. So it does help you to attract more clients. And when you have a personal brand, should be very clear who is that ideal client that you're going to be speaking to, right? Now that you're becoming more personal and you want to be more relatable by being yourself, which is a great thing, right? You just show up authentically and you start connecting more with people. We wanted to make sure that we are very clear who is that we wanted to serve, because that way we can be also specific how we're going to be presenting our brand. Now, there's a real cool recipe about going about your personal brand. You can use your photographs, you can use your brand to give more context to everything that you do online, from your website to your social media posts to even how you create your offers. You can be very, very personal, keeping in mind who your ideal client is. You want it to be specific how you're going to help them solve their problems. And when you create the context with the photography, your message, and you expose yourself to the client, they're going to know immediately that you are the brand that they wanted to do business with. The other thing about showing up online with your face and representing your business with, being you, the face of the business, over time, you start creating more familiarity, and people start trusting you when they see you over and over and over. And one more thing, when people see that you're investing on your brand and you have a personal brand well put together, which is no more about having a pretty logo and colors, is about being perceived as a premier brand that is investing and is showing up and is being consistent all the time. So now, how can you use your photography to build a personal brand? First of all, let me ask you guys here. Any of you here have a personal brand right now? Oh, I'm trying to get back there. Sorry. Let me just resume the sharing for a tiny bit. Can you guys tell me here so far if you have any questions? I want to find out, do you all have a personal brand? Can you chime in the chat?
Sure. Why don't people just drop it in the chat if they think they've got a personal brand? I guess it would be like a tagline, or are you just saying yes or no?
Yeah, just saying yes or no. Do you all have a personal brand? Basically, you're the face of your business. Julie, I think I have a personal brand. Jason, don't use it much. Michael, I think I do. Okay, and Jason also says, but I'm also in many ways the face of Get Visible. And Brian say yes, but not keeping up. Raj say, yes, we do. Awesome. Okay, awesome. Good to know, guys.
So you have 5 minutes left if you want to continue or go into Q&A, whatever you like.
Yes. All right. So the next part is gonna be, how can you use your photographs to build a personal brand? Okay, so I truly think that photography and video will be definitely the way to go to build your personal brand. Of course, there's a way of doing in a way that creates more impact. It's not just putting pretty photos out there, but altogether combining your photos with your message and strategic layout to make more impact. But basically, you can replace your generic stock photos from your website and your posts on social media, etc., with custom photography. So, custom photography meaning personal branding photography session will be specifically curated according to your brand goals, your personality, your marketing efforts, and collaterals that you planning to publish in future and etc. You can use a signature photo to create consistency in all touch points across your social media. And what do I mean over here? Let's say, for instance, you have a LinkedIn profile, a Facebook profile, a Twitter profile, you have Instagram, you have Facebook groups that you're running, advertising campaigns, you have a book you publishing, you have a media kit. Having a signature photo, which means a good photo, usually a headshot that truly represents you. That's a clear photo of you that's not taken with your cell phone, professional photo with a plain background that really people can see you, because the thumbnails they are on the profiles are very tiny. You have to keep that in consideration. You don't want it to put any full body shots. You want it to keep very tight. Using one photo across all these touch points will help people that are researching your brand and looking for you to not have any cognitive dissonance, meaning they don't have to really use much brain power to recognize you in all these touch points. They can just platform hop and be able to see that that's you across your social media and that you're doing a good job being consistent. Here, another thing that's super important and is being used a lot these days, you can customize your website sections and pages on your website with your own photographs, rather than have the generic stock photos again. For example, your hero section of the website, which is the first section as soon as you land on a website. It's nice to greet your audience there with a photo of you looking at the viewer, so they feel like they're being greeted personally by you. There you go, and there's your face and there's your name, all going together, helping again to create the experience, the seamless experience. As they can scroll different sections of the website, they're going to constantly see your photos there. By the time they actually navigated and scroll through, they're becoming familiar with you all along. So it's a great way to customize again and give context. You can do some, customize also the contact page, your about page, tell a little bit of a story, do a little bit of, put some old photos from back then, when, before your transformation, and current photos to do a comparison to help to tell more stories about you and your brand. Again, giving context to your posts, to blogs, social media posts on your feeds, Instagram and LinkedIn mostly, email campaigns, and call to actions throughout the website. The call to action, for example, photos that people, you find yourself looking and pointing, that helps the viewer, be drawn to where, when you're looking out to the side, pointing, it helps to instigate them to do the action that you want them to do.
Sorry to cut you off. We're at the 15-minute point.
Oh, okay.
But we have, a little bit of time if people have questions. I mean, we don't have that big a group today.
Okay,
So Jason has a question.
sure.
Carolina, I was just going to share what would really help is to see examples of your work when you do presentation like this.
Yes, yes. I wanted to do more of that today. I kind of put together this very quickly today, but I can show you some photos and I can also show my website.
Well, the website you don't have to show. We could see that on our own, but things that we wouldn't see on the website to
Okay,
to just say, well, here's what I mean by what meaning what separates you from another photographer that is helping someone to create a personal brand. Like that
okay,
photo of you in the beginning in that very beautiful long jacket, that means something. So
okay.
along those lines.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you for saying that. Okay, so let me just, should I stop the present? Let me show you a couple of examples here too. Okay, so this is one of my clients, Kelly Schaufer. She's a fitness coach and she's also a gospel coach. So her family is a big part of her brand. Um, uh, and here's a good example of different social media posts that she's created for the photos that we've done. Here is an example of a website where we're using, the hero section. So pretty much linking the name with the face of the business owner. Here we have also a good example of how to combine, just incorporating different photographs. I'm gonna just scroll this really quickly and I'm gonna just open up over here. I'm gonna bring out something else over here if we have time. I'm open for questions also.
How do you, Carolina, thank you for your presentation, and I like your fresh approach to the headshot. How do you work with clients to establish or determine what their personal brand is?
Okay. Well, I have a process where, first of all, I'm going to do a question. I'm going to give my client a questionnaire. It's a very deep discovery process from their values, their vision for their business, their current offers, inquiring also about how they're going to be using their photographs. Usually when I work with a client with personal branding, we take about 4 weeks because there's a lot of coaching involved. So we have a branding session after the questionnaire where I review my insights. I do a full social media inventory and website inventory where we're going to find out exactly their pillars for their social media and also combine all their goals and also do a little bit of envisioning of what the brand is gonna look like in the future. So I believe that photography, just like a vision board, can help you draw whatever you wanted to create with your brand in the future. It can help to bring a little closer, a little faster. For example, if you're gonna start advertising or start attracting opportunities for speaking on stage, right? And you don't have any of that material yet because you haven't done that, but yet you're qualified and you wanted to get more gigs like that. We can convey that with a photograph and you can create a media page and you start attracting those things. So the discovery process is a collaboration between the questionnaire, my insights that I get through their presence online, position myself as their viewer and also as a marketer. I can give them a lot of insights and we create an editorial storyline, curate everything from the scenes, what we're going to be telling on those stories, what they're going to be wearing for each scene. So it's very, very involved rather than just a lifestyle photo or a headshot session.
That's great. So it looks like you shoot in different locations too.
Correct.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
based on the client and what they want.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's not really a cookie cutting approach. It's very customized.
Right.
Including the website inventory, we shoot specifically photos for specific sections of the website. And because I also do some personal branding consulting, I love to give my clients ideas on how they can actually improve their website layout to convert more. And we create photos for them to add additional sections that might be missing and things of sort.
Do you work out of a studio or do you work mainly on location?
I have a studio in Plainview, which is near Syosset. Are you from Long Island?
I'm from Queens, but I know
Oh,
Plainview.
okay. Yes. So I have a studio and I go to multiple locations.
Okay.
Yeah. I also travel anywhere in the world for the branding photo shoots.
Great.
And I was asked before, what makes me different than any other personal branding photographers? Well, I have to say that I'm a very intuitive photographer, and now I've been doing this for photography for 20 years. Have been doing photography since I'm 15 years old. So it is a gift that I have to being able to really capture people's souls and personality. Even those that are shy, camera shy, they're very uncomfortable, they have body image. Um, they're not really they don't consider themselves photogenic. I love to make them feel beautiful and feel comfortable, bring out really the childlike personality to make that vibrancy come through the eyes and through their expressions. And I'm pretty good at creating an experience where they can feel a transformation and be able to show up confidently online, with everything that they do, and be proud of their photographs, be proud of posting their photographs.
So why don't we, thank you, Carolina. Thank you for the presentation and for, answering some of the questions that people had. Why don't we, and everybody should put, people have already started. Thank you for kicking that off. I think it was Rajiv kicking off, putting your LinkedIn in the chat. Again, we will have all of that information on the website when it launches soon. But this is a good way to reach out to each other. Why don't we go around as we usually do, and in our introductions, I guess I'll do about 2 minutes or so. If you do have a personal brand, or you think you have a personal brand, what do you think describes, or how do you think people talk about you when you're not in the room, as Jeff Bezos says, with respect to your business? I mean, they may say other things about you, but let's set those aside and focus on what they say about you and what makes you unique, and why people should reach out to you. So I'm going to go in order of people arriving. So it would be Rajiv. Actually, what I will do is I'll drop this in the chat, the order. So it's Rajiv, Julie, Brian, then Jason, Adam, and then Audrey. And I will time, I'm going to switch to what's called speaker view. So the person who's speaking will have the full screen. So Rajiv, why don't you go ahead?
How much time do I have?
2 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Lose 2 minutes.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, hi everyone. For those that don't know me, my name is Rajiv Jadhav. I'm the CEO of R Square Media. We're an award-winning online visibility and reputation management company that helps clients be seen or not be seen online. And most people understand the be seen side of the story, which is you want to be number one on Google, you want to be the only one on Google. And yes, you heard me correct, only one. There was not a camera glitch or a Zoom glitch. Yes, the only one. That's something that we can do. Completely eclipse the competition and everyone else because you're so awesome. So that's one part of it. And the other side of it is the not be seen. So people usually ask me, why would anyone not want to be seen? And the simple answer is, well, if you have some bad press or 1-star reviews, chances are you don't want people to see that, because that's very effective at killing your business and driving away customers by the dozens. So what we do is we delete all that stuff and help people like start anew, start afresh. And clients like us because we're super responsive, fun to work with, very chill, good vibes only. And one of our deletion services, the Bazooka, has a money back guarantee if we're unable to delete the stuff in our forecasted time frame. So my ask is to meet with all of you to explore synergies. Had a great one-on-one with Jason, so shout out to Jason and Michael, of course. Everyone knows Michael. Yeah, so I look forward to meeting with everyone, getting to know you better, exploring synergies, and seeing how we can support each other in 2021 to make it better than 2020. So that's it. Mic drop. I'm done, and passing it over to the next person.
Okay, so that would be, thank you. And that would be Julie Livingston. Julie, who gave the presentation 2 weeks ago, just before Christmas.
Hi there. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. I'm Julie Livingston. My company is called Want Leverage Communications. That's wantleverage.com. And it's a full service public relations consultancy. We help under the radar companies, those companies that are either family owned and looking to be sold in the next few years, but need to raise their visibility so that they can attract buyers. Also, companies that have sort of been coasting along for a while, but are now all of a sudden seeing that their competitors are creeping up on them. Their competitors are being featured in the media widely, and they're not. They're losing some market share. Their sales have dipped a little bit. I help them to regain the visibility and brand credibility that they deserve. And I do that through content development, through media relations, by getting them featured in the press that matters to them, by brokering strategic partnerships and alliances, vetting industry award programs, booking speaking engagements, et cetera, et cetera. It goes on. I'd love to talk to you, or if any of you know of companies that are in need of my services, please let me know.
Very cool. And do you want us add in your personal brand? You said you think you have one. Is it, if you were to say in a sentence or two?
Well, I think my personal brand, I think I definitely communicate positive energy. That's what people tell me all the time. And I hope that I communicate that through my appearance as well. And so I think that the photography that I have used on my website, on my profiles, whatever, has done a pretty good job of that. It's funny. I recently actually worked with a stylist on that subject, on that same topic. So Carolina, it's something that I've definitely been interested in fine tuning a little bit. But I do think that personal branding is very, very important. But I think it's not only my energy, but it's my communication style, so that I'm accessible. I kind of emit intelligence, good judgment, confidence. And I know, and I hear this from clients or client prospects all the time. So I've kind of assumed that those things are true.
So they even tell it to you when you're in the room. Okay.
They do.
That's great. So Brian, and Brian, by the way, I think it's Brian, right? You have a picture on your website of a mother and a kid in a museum pointing at a big portrait of you. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, that is one of my websites. I was gonna go, I'm putting this in the chat right now. I was gonna go with this brand because my mission is to stop random acts of marketing. So if we're talking about our brand, yeah, absolutely. But you can also go to brianrudolph.me and yeah, check out my museum shot. Michael, I appreciate that. So my name is Brian Rudolph. I'm a digital marketer and digital transformation consultant. I work with companies of all sizes. Primarily when I'm working with smaller companies, anywhere from single entrepreneurs to companies that are spending up to $20,000, $25,000 a month on marketing. I find that they are challenged understanding the full role of digital marketing in their ecosystem. It's like they're just throwing spaghetti at a wall to see what works. And what I do is I come in, I work with them to build a true digital customer journey for them and really establish what makes sense for them from a digital marketing landscape. And then from a digital marketing strategy, and then I put it all in a playbook and I work with them to help them use their resources or to pull in some of my own resources, which everybody in this network is part of, to execute on the vision that we created in that strategy session. So small, mid-sized companies who are struggling with digital media or not struggling, but just want to have a little bit of a better return on their investment are definitely people that I'd like to speak with. And then on the enterprise side, as I said, I'm also a digital transformation consultant. I've led digital at companies like Verifone, which is the largest credit card company in the world. I built the Coca-Cola Digital Marketing Center of Excellence, led an agency. So I've got a lot of that enterprise experience as well. And I'm kind of balancing those two balls at once. Anyway, that's me. Looking forward to connecting with people that I haven't connected with. I think I've connected with, probably three or four of you already.
Okay, I thank you very much, Brian. And the next person, hold on. Person would be Jason Cement.
Cool. All right. So today's a big day for me because we just relaunched our website. So when people say, how was your holiday? My holiday was very busy because I was doing content and design and still not QC at 100%, but you could look at getvisible.com to see our new site, new logo. Took me 15 years to finally come up with 3 words that describe what we do. So I run an agency. We build websites and then we promote them. And the 3 words that define what we do are transform, transcend, and transact. So we transform people's brands online. Often they come with either no website or a ancient Me Too type of website. So we transform that. The next thing is we start driving traffic by transcending competition, either from rankings, better performing advertisements, or content production. I mean, we're talking to a client yesterday. We brought his cost per lead for attic repair from $250 to $220 a lead, which is still a lot of money, but when the guy's spending $80,000 a month, it's significant to save 10 grand. And the last thing is transactions, is producing quality traffic and leads. And that's what we do. Work a lot with service providers. We build in WordPress, we build in e-commerce as well, and been doing this for 15 years, but I've been online for over 25. So that's my story.
Don't even look that old. Okay.
4 kids.
Yeah, 4 kids. And he is calling in from the LA area and in a different room today. Okay, next person would be, that was Jason, then Adam.
By the way, it's the same room. I just turned the camera around.
Oh, really? Adam Kellis.
Hi, how you doing? Kellis, yep. Hi, I'm the CEO of the B2B marketing company. We're a leading marketing company focusing on tech and media companies go to market, specifically mid-market and enterprise organizations. We are a consortium of roughly 25 executives that have anywhere between 15 and 30 years of experience in their area of subject matter expertise. And we bring that to bear to some of the well-known brands that you might know in the B2B space, including companies like LinkedIn and Maximus and a whole slew of others. And so, my role as CEO is kind of keeping trains running, keeping the new business flowing in, and really focused on helping the team be successful in executing for our clients at scale.
Hey, very cool. Do you have any examples, or do you have your personal brand statement?
Don't have a personal brand statement. I've been in this industry 25 plus years. And I'll say this is that, our company, we really help our clients grow at scale. And, whether it's ABM or any other new buzzwords that comes through the B2B marketing world, we really do help their business grow exponentially. Case in point, over the course of the last 5 years, 3 of our clients have been acquired by bigger companies. And over those time, CoreMedia is a perfect example. They were DSP acquired by Dentsu. Year over year, we helped them grow their revenue 200 to 300%. First year, 200%. Second year, 300%. Really delivered to the top line and make CEOs, our clients, which are mostly the CEOs, happy. I would say also kind of secondarily, I run a community of roughly 1,500 B2B marketers called The Buzz. And it's but mostly companies that that I just described, so high growth, mid-market enterprise companies. They're marketing leaders in a closed community to help improve the way we go to market collectively.
All right, great, thank you. I have myself on mute and I'm typing, and the only way I take myself off mute is by hitting the space bar. But when I do that, I get a lot of spaces where I'm typing, so it's a little strange. Okay, and then actually not last, I go last, Audrey Glover Dichter.
Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. I'm Audrey Glover Dichter. I'm an attorney, and I focus on advertising, marketing, promotions law, intellectual property, and privacy law. So I help agencies and businesses be legally compliant with all 3. And I have a new tagline I like to try out on you guys. So basically I help agencies and businesses protect themselves from their own websites so that they can be legally compliant and avoid lawsuits. Any comments? Well, anyway, so
I like it. I like the fact that you protect them against their own websites. It's actually,
I think you should just
it makes you
stop
think.
there.
yeah, okay.
I think when you're saying that, you can stop at I protect people from their own website, period, because that is the entry for a conversation. They're going to start asking you,
what does that mean?
Tell me more about that. What does that mean? When you go on and explain it in the same sentence, then you're kind of closing off the conversation.
It's a good tagline.
Thank you.
Sure, Audrey. I don't know if I would know. I mean, it might prompt curiosity, but also confusion.
Okay, I like to avoid confusion because as an attorney, I don't like confusion at all. And the whole point of what I do is try to avoid confusion.
To me, it wasn't that clear to me.
So what I do is I review marketing campaigns from everything, including everything and anything that would be part of that campaign, especially websites, which we're all quite reliant on nowadays, for making sure you're legally compliant with advertising law and intellectual property issues. If you have intellectual property, did you protect it before you launch publicly? Or if you make sure you're not infringing on anybody else's IP on your website or any of your marketing. Also, do you have the proper policies for the privacy? Do you have your cookie banners? Oh, I'm out of time. Well, anyway, so on and on and on and on. And as long as I review websites, I also help clients make sure that they're legally compliant with ADA compliance, because there's a huge uptick of lawsuits in that field. So Michael, heads up, I'm happy to help.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I will go. I'll set the timer for myself. So as you know, my name is Michael Bendit. I think my brand, as I said when Caroline was asking, do you have a brand, a personal brand? I think my brand is a networker, helping people in the marketing space connect with others, and also somebody who helps translate, geek talk to business talk and vice versa. So that's a lot of my role. Is helping. I represent about 10 different software development teams. They're boutique teams. And they have their own sales and some marketing capabilities, but I expand their network and expand their reach into the New York area mostly. A good example of what I do actually happened. It's been happening over the past several months. I've been working with a prospect. They're a beverage distributor. They have a website. It's actually an e-commerce site built on Magento, which is a very complex platform for e-commerce. And the current agency that is doing their work is a marketing agency that has some technical skills as opposed to a technical agency. And they're happy with their marketing, capabilities, but not really what they're doing for them on the technical side. So I'm bringing to them a team that focuses entirely on e-commerce development. One of their areas of expertise is what they call Magento Rescue, because so many agencies do mess up Magento. It's hard to get your arms around and control. And they're fine with, the client's fine with their rate, their domestic company, $150 an hour. But they really don't know how much it's going to cost them to do the scope of work that they have, even though they have a list of about 100 items. So I'm in the process right now of coming up with, having them actually pay to do a discovery, some discovery work on a chunk of that work to give them a price. So they know, okay, it's $150 an hour, but what does that really mean? So that's a lot of the type of discussions that I have with clients to make them feel comfortable with my teams before they make the switch over. Because last thing they want to do is make a switch and feel like they've made a mistake. And of course, I don't want that to happen. I want them to be happy with the teams that I represent. So that's it. I do want to share a preview. I think I've shared a preview of the website in the past, but I'm going to share it again. Here it is. So this is the Trusted Referral Network website. And as you can see, we have 128 members right now. And if I put in, let's say, get visible, it should show up. Give it a second or two. I think it's all one word. There we are, get visible, Los Angeles, California, digital marketing. And then you've got your own page. Of course, I pulled the logo, the hero banner, the hero banner here, you could change that. If you don't change it, it will be the logo that you use on the prior page. And then this stuff I pulled from your website or whatever it happens to be, maybe your LinkedIn. These are kinds of things that you can edit when you claim it. You could put in a more specific address, other qualifications that might be relevant if you're MWBE, for example, or HIPAA certified or whatever. As you can see right now, it's unclaimed because I haven't handed it off to Jason. And then a bunch of others here, but that's the way it works. And as you can see, Get Visible is in the digital marketing category. And if you just click on that, you'll see other people in the digital marketing category, and they come up sort of randomly. For those people that don't have a company name, I've just put in, David Nadel Consulting and a headshot taken off of either their website or LinkedIn. So, and you can see on the right here, lots of search capabilities. Minimum average project size, minimum referral fee. So there's an opportunity for you to put in a referral fee, and a few other things, size of the company, location. And then you can connect directly with those people on that page. So if I go to David Nadel, you will see, there he is again. There'll be a way to connect with him. Actually, here it is. It will be then, now it's owned by Unclaimed. It will have his logo and it will have his email and website, etc.
So, Michael, once we claim our page, is the algorithm always random in the list, or are there ways to are there activities that you can perform to rank higher?
Yeah, there will be. I mean, everybody gets a trial membership for 6 months, and you've been members for however long, but starting January 1st essentially through June, if you show up at a meeting once on average once a month, if you can provide one lead that leads to a meeting with one of our clients in that 6-month period, you're a member in good standing, and you can continue with that free version, or you could upgrade. There's going to be a $30 a month or $180 for 6 months. That will give you a preference, and then you can also add at that point, if you pay, if you have a paid listing, you can also add recommendations, and those will move you up as well. Similar to like LinkedIn, but it's a little bit different. The recommendations will actually move you up in the ranking. But right now, I mean, yes, digital marketing is probably fairly populated, as you saw. So Brian, I'm not sure if you're in the digital, there you are, Brian. Right, you're in the digital marketing category. Obviously, you're the only one in Georgia. So if somebody was looking in the Southeast, they'd find you there. But otherwise, how do you stand out? That's the question. It's mostly about finding other people. This does, of course, increase your visibility to the public. And it's intended to do that as well. So showing up higher, I think, can benefit you. That's not the primary goal of this. It's really for internal networking and connection, and saying who you are, what you do, what your brand is.
Michael,
yes.
I'm sorry. Are we going to have a link to our LinkedIn page from here?
You can, yes. You can have this section here, this little blurb gives you lots of flexibility. You can put links in it. You can put whatever you want in it. So you'll get this becomes longer. And then there are, these buttons are actually for sharing, not for your LinkedIn account. The website, email, I think LinkedIn may also show up if you populate it. I have to look into that.
Are you doing this? I mean, are you yourself putting this together, or is one of your teams doing that?
One of my, I mean, I built it with the help of one of my teams.
Cool. Can't wait to play with it.
Yeah. I mean, I will be launching it soon. I think I have everything done. I just have to change all of these ownership. You'll get a username, a user ID, and then you'll set your own password by putting in forgot password, and then you own the password. So this will help you, now you'll know, who in this group is, does quote unquote focus on branding or whatever it happens to be. So branding, these are the 4 branding companies. Some of you, you've met Limbic. I don't know if anybody met Concept One, but this will help you find people and contact them and learn about them. And vice versa, people learn about you. And so, Audrey, you will show up here in legal because you're a sponsor, you're not a marketing services provider. Okay. So there's a couple of sponsors, but sponsors have the same, now you're only 2 of you, right? So. All right, wonderful. There's an FAQ section here under help. So I've got about us, which talks about membership, our network clients, the team, which is just me right now, the packages that I just discussed, and then help, how do you set up an account? It's fairly intuitive, but I have all that information. I haven't done videos for these, but I will soon. All right, everybody, any questions, comments? I will I'll stop share. I will go to the gallery view. Then thank you, Carolina, for the presentation today. And thank all the members who showed up today. Really appreciate your involvement. And there's more coming, just like this website.